What's up, brick builders? Today's build is chair. This is set number MMMB040-1. Year it came out was 2011, age group 6+, and it comes with a piece count of 47. Hello folks, Sean from BRIT'N Bricks. Welcome to another build video, and this is a super cool looking monthly mini model build. Now, this probably is one of those monthly mini model builds that would have been like, oh my gosh, people have got to, yeah, we've got to build this, got to have this, because it is, first of all, it's a fantastic model to build. It's very frustrating for me to actually piece it together because I could not find any instructions on this at all. There was absolutely no instructions, so it was trial and error, and it took me a little while to figure it out, but I actually figured it out eventually. Hopefully it's going to go flawless. No, it's not. When we build it today, and I'm going to try and build it in a way that you guys can follow along, so that if you want to build this, you can build this as well. You can also make the same mistakes I make while I make them in the video. Yay! Without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's dive in and build it. Oh yeah, by the way, this was a monthly mini model build for August. I forgot to mention that, didn't I? August. There we go. There's our parts and pieces. So we got this really cool 6x6 tan base there. That's a really, really nice piece. And then we've got this really cool 6x6. You can see it's 6x6 dish as well. And period correct, it was the solid stud one, because there's two different versions. There's the hollow stud and the solid stud, and also it has the square as opposed to the circular, because there's another difference between the two dishes. There you go. Something you didn't know? Maybe not. All I'm doing is going by a picture. So wish me luck. First of all, we're going to take our 6x6 base plate, and we're going to turn it upside down, and we're going to put these 2x6 tan bricks. We've got 3 of those. Those are going to go across the bottom. So it's our base of our decking. There we go. And then we want tiles to go across here, but we want to leave some spaces for where the chair legs are going to get mounted. Now, first of all, we have a lamp here as well. Or not a lamp, sorry. I think it's a lamp. I think it's like one of those heater lamps, but it's not. It's an umbrella. So we got an umbrella mounted to the side here as well. So we got to think about that stud there, and that stud there, and that stud there. So this stud, right over this row at the back, that's good. So we're going to put a 1x6 tan tile there, and then across here front, the first two, we got 1x6 tan tile again, and then the next one is a 1x6 tan tile, and then the next one is a 1x6 tan tile. So it's it's this area here that we want, the back area. So we know from the picture that this tile here, or this area here, is a tile. So we're going to pop a 1x1 tile there, and then we've got a gap, or we've got a 1x1 tile there. So we're going to put a 1x1 tile there as well. This is where the chair leg's going, and that's where the chair leg's going as well, for the back of the chair. And then we've got another, let's see what we got here. So we got the mounting for the lamp right there, and then mounting for the leg there. We are missing a tan tile. There we go. Tan tile next to the mounting for the lamp. Umbrella. It's not a lamp. Actually, we're going to move the umbrella. Actually, we'll probably, let's see, chair leg, chair comes out. No, we'll leave that there. We're going to put chair leg there as well, like that. So the chair is actually offset on the platform. That's the first part of the puzzle. It's not dead center of the platform because you need the umbrella there. Okay. So next is what we're going to put on these studs. It's 2 1x1 white plates first, like that. And then we got Sayot bricks. We got brick there with just a stud on one side. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those to use. So they're handy pieces. You got to use them wisely. And we want to pin the back chair leg piece on the side. So we want the stud facing outwards, like that. And the same with this side here, stud facing outwards. So now we know how we're mounting the chair, and it's a 1x2 plate that goes up from it. So we got a 1x2 white plate, and we're just going to stick that at the bottom there. Whoops, it's alive. So it's like that. See that? Okay. Now then, next piece of puzzle is the arms for the chair. And we've got a 1x4 plate, and we want a 1x3 plate, and we want to go put that on half the plate, so it's one stud over. And then we want another 1x4 plate to go down. So that's the arm of the chair, and that's the front chair leg. So we're going to do that again. So now we're getting pieces disappearing, which is good. So process of elimination. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. And we don't need that. Right. So for the back of the chair, we're going to need a 2x3 and a 1x3 and a 1x1. So we don't need those. So that's what this is leaving us with. We don't need the 1x1 circular plate. We do need those. And we've got those. So these still are quite a few pieces to try and figure out where they go. So what we're going to do next is we're going to build the seat of the chair. And that is 3 studs deep. So we know it's a 1x3 plate. And we're going to put a 2x3 plate on top and a 1x3 plate across the bottom. Excuse me, I've got hiccups now. Like that. And then we want a Sayot brick to go underneath at the front. So this is going to be the front of the chair. This is where your front leg's going to go. That's why we have the Sayot brick, or the Sayot brick, with the stud facing out to the side, just like we did with the back. Okay. So that one under there as well. Now the build gets a little bit fragile. So what we're going to do is we're going to build that up. We're going to put 1x3 plates underneath on each side. And that makes it just that little bit stronger. But these will keep popping off if you're not careful. Right. Now we're going to attach the legs. And the legs are going to go one stud in like that. Change around. One stud, Sean. There we go. Like that. And that is going to sit on. So these 1x3 plates here, these two here, are going to sit on these 2 pins here. Like so. See that? There we go. Now then, we have the back of the chair. And notice the back of the chair, it kind of slopes, angles backwards. So in order to make it angle backwards, we've got these Sayot bricks. Now the Sayot bricks are what are going to make that happen. And the way you do that is, let's see if I can get this right. Remember, it? Is it like that? Or is it the other way? It's the other way, I think, because you need a stud gap between the two. So it's the other way. So it's like that. So the side of the stud is going to go into the back of, or the end of the arm, like so, at a slight angle. You can tilt the angle later as well. I'm going to try and get the angle kind of ready. It's a very fragile build until you get the back of the chair on. Now the back of the chair is very similar to, so there's our back of our chair pieces. Back of the chair is very similar to the base of the chair. It's got the 2x3 and the 1x3, but then you have the 1x1 above it as well. So obviously we've only got 1x3 plates left, are the longest plates. So we're going to take 1x1, pop that on the very end, like that. And then 1x3, it goes across like that. And then 2x3 goes like that. And that is the back of the chair. Well, we need to reinforce that, but we'll do that in a minute. So we want the 1x3 plate to go behind the bricks, the SOAT bricks, and hold them together, and then that will keep the arms from falling off. Says if you can line them up properly, Sean. There you go. There you go. Like that. See that? It's a bit wonky because it needs the back of the chair on first. All these bits and pieces are popping off, but there we go. Like that. And then that is going to rest in there like so. But we need a little bit more of a backup on the back here. So we're going to put the 1x2 just at the bottom, and then you can put, see, it guides it in. And you want it a bit further down. So I might have the angle a little bit wrong. Should be like that. Then tilt it down a bit. There you go. And that's our deck chair done. See that? It could even be that the 1x3 goes across there, but this is strengthening that there, I think. So I'm quite happy to keep that there. Like that. In fact, it probably needs another 1x2 plate behind it just to keep that attached to that there, and that would stop this top piece from falling backwards. Anyway, now we've got the easy part. Take our 6x6 dish. We're going to put the 2x2 circular plate, if I can hold it, underneath, because we need to thicken this area up, and then we're going to put 1x1 circular plate on top in between the 4 studs, if you can. In between the 4 studs. Come on. Almost. I don't know why I'm struggling with that, because it's usually a fairly easy technique. There you go. Right. And then this bar is going to go into the cone. Now, period correct, the cone did have the edge or the ridge. And you're going to put this bar that has a stopper 1/4 of the length. And that's going to go in there and stop that from falling through. Then we're going to put our 1x1 cylinder open stud, light bluish grey. This is all light bluish grey, by the way. And there's our post. And then we're just going to put the bar into the hole like that. And then that goes on there. And look at this. This is absolutely fantastic. I love this. It's not a clean build. I mean, if these were tiles, that would be perfect. If these were, you know, 2x3 and 1x3 tiles, that would be absolutely spot on, because this would be a really, really nice model, I think. I don't think you'd get away with tiles along here unless you turn that into a tile. You could probably get away with that. And this one a tile. This could be a tile easy. Okay, pinch it up a bit. Yeah, what a super fantastic little model. You can see that how the back end's done. Like I say, this plate here could easily run across there and hold those together, but then this would fall out a little bit more. So what it probably could do with is another 1x3 plate going across there just to do that, and a 1x2 plate, or even a 1x1 plate just to go behind here just to make that thicker as well. That would be ideal, and it would be a really, really nice build. And then turn these into tiles again, like I say. Super cool little monthly mini model build. Lots and lots of cool pieces. Lots and lots of cool pieces. And I think the colors, the white and the tan, are really cool. A little breakup of accent there with light bluish grey. What a cool little model. Love that. And there you go, folks. The chair. Isn't it cool? It is so cool. Bit giant for a minifig, but I think you get Jack Stone sitting in there, retired and just chilling out. You could put Jack Stone, or you could probably get one of those. I don't know if you've seen those, the Technic figures that they used to have in the 80s, or probably late 70s, I think it was. They were pretty tall, and yeah, that actually might be too big. They might actually be too big for that. Jack Stone, definitely Jack Stone. He could just chill in there and relax. Folks, if you enjoyed the video, you want to see some more content like this, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share amongst your friends, family, and anybody else who you think would be interested in this kind of content. We dig up all sorts of treasures like this that you probably wouldn't be able to build otherwise. Put your notifications on to all so you don't miss us in the next one. I'm Sean from BRIT'N Bricks. Peace.